So you've decided you want to pursue something. This particular instance is playing Valorant professionally, or even trying to rank up and get Radiant. It doesn't really matter what, it's going to be the same regardless. You need a plan. Over a month ago, I made a video basically questioning like the idea of going pro and if it's worth it, whether or not I wanted to keep going. I settled on yes. I want to put as much time and effort into like pursuing Valorant as possible, trying to play it professionally, trying to improve at it, trying to be the best at it, regardless of the sacrifices that come alongside that. What I spent the last month doing is trying to create a plan to do that. A lot of us, myself included, get stuck in this cycle of just slamming our heads against the wall. We watch guides and videos and we hear these like pro players and people better than us, like Radiants, high immortal players, talking about how just play the game. Like that's really all it is. Like, play 10 games a day and you'll rank up. I mean, sure, that might be true, but when with no direction and just sitting there mindlessly grinding, it could take years. I mean, it's gonna take years regardless, but maybe we can shave some time off of that. A lot of us will sit there and slam our heads against it over and over and over and over and feel like, oh my god, maybe I'm not meant to be good at this. Maybe it's genetics, maybe it's environment, maybe it's my past or something. Something out of my control is keeping me from being good enough at playing this game. Maybe I lack the talent, something, anything. I can't seem to get better at this. I mean, the reason I make this video now is because I have 120 matches in the new episode, and I haven't ranked up. Like, I placed Diamond 3, ranked to Diamond 2, double ranked up to Ascendant 1, ranked up to Ascendant 2, and I've spent the last near 100 games in Ascendant 2. That's not a good feeling, and I imagine a lot of you watching this video have felt this feeling and or might be feeling that feeling now. It's defeating. Maybe all the hours of grinding, it wasn't worth it. Maybe there is no hope. Or maybe the plan you made simply wasn't good. That's a little harsh, but maybe the plan you made wasn't as efficient as you thought it was. Whenever I made my plan, after I released my last video, I followed a video from a long time ago that I had watched whenever I first hit Immortal 3 over a year, almost a year and a half ago. That video was just about a thing called a player Bible, wherein you would take the game, anything and everything you know about it, and you'd list it out, and then you'd grade it all, and you'd slowly, systematically work on each thing every day. And I think that's a brilliant system. I took that and I comboed it with the idea of spaced repetition. So whenever you learn something, or like whenever you want to learn something, you take it, you set out like a threshold you want to meet. Like, let's say it's an aim training scenario. Okay, I want to get this score before I move on. Once you get the score, get that score again tomorrow. Get that score again in 3 days. Get that score again in 4 days. That, and it's spaced repetition. You never lose it that way, which I still think to this day is an amazing system. In fact, I'm still using that in my current system. But there's a fundamental issue with this. You simply have a giant list of anything and everything about the game, but you don't know what is the most important to work on. So you start systematically breaking it down. For me, I created a list of things that in what order I wanted to get through, starting with mental, because I thought that was my weakest, going on to comms, and then mechanics, things like that. And as good as that is, it doesn't address the current problems you're facing. It's a fantastic system, but you can't play the game in such a rigid way. Whenever you learn something, new problems arise, and you have to fix them. And that's what VOD review is for, and this system completely neglected that. And I know it's so boring, but it's necessary, because improvement doesn't come from learning anything and everything about the game. God, if it did, I'd be such a higher rank. It comes from acknowledging and working on your issues, and you can't make a list of everything to work on in the game and work on it for one day and think you're good. This sort of thing takes weeks, months even for some issues. Let's say one day, like right now, my problem is I've stopped comming. My comms are awful. All of a sudden, I went from being able to IGL comp games I'm like a tier 2 IGL to barely saying any words at all. And I know that's an issue I have right now. That's not an issue I can play like 8 comp games in a row and be like, okay, I fixed it. What next? That's not how that works. I have to spend like a week or 2 on this to fix that issue. And then it becomes muscle memory again. The idea is when you're making your plan for anything your work, maybe it's improving at a video game like what I'm doing, improving at a hobby or a career or anything. It can't just be about learning everything. You have to take a step back and prioritize the things that are affecting you the most. So I would strongly recommend watching this video on making a player Bible. Make one for yourself and then use it as a guide. Right now, the only videos I've found on YouTube on VOD reviewing are League of Legends or Woohoojin's old video. And in that video, he gives you an outline of things to go over, but it's not very in depth, I propose a different option. How about pull up one of your VODs and then use your player Bible to go through each major category and pick one thing from that major category that might have been an issue. And if there was nothing in that category that was an issue, then good. Focus more so on other things. But this gives you like 5, maybe 6 things to work on every week, maybe every 2 weeks. And then you watch VODs every day. And as you're watching them, if the issues start going away, that's good. That means you're making progress. And once the issues are gone, let's do it over again. Let's watch another VOD and do the system again. Look and see what are all the issues in each category. What do I need to work on next? I think that using this plan is going to take me incredibly far, and I think it will take you incredibly far. And here's the thing. As of right now, I'm Ascendant 2, Peak Immortal 3, like a year ago. I don't know what it takes to go pro. The pros aren't going to tell you what it takes to go pro. I've had professional coaching, not the greatest advice given, I'm not going to lie. I don't think it's worth the money. At least not right now. I need to find a better approach to that. I don't know what the best thing is. I'm just experimenting like the rest of y'all. So I'd say if you don't have a plan, you should definitely get one. Maybe use this as a jumping off point. And if you have a better plan than what I've got, let me know. I'll try it, because I'll try anything. I'm sorry for the delay between the last 2 videos. Been grinding the game a lot, as I mentioned earlier. 100 games is a little taxing. Plus, been doing a lot of team stuff. We're currently looking for 2 players, and that's taking a lot of time and effort. Also, college has been a little rough recently, so sorry about that. The quality of this video is a little lower than the last one, I know. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to sacrifice a lot of the, editing portions, like the sound effects and stuff, for the sake of actually outputting videos. Just remember that your dreams don't mean anything if you can't make a plan to get yourself there. And even if your plan isn't perfect, because it's never perfect, plans always fail. Even if it's not perfect, you need something to jump off of. Something that you have to be willing to go back and adjust in order to make progress. Because plans change. Everything changes. You just have to be willing to adjust with it.
Flash? Didn't capitalize. Oh, yeah!